Our next speaker is no stranger to the term Vegas Tech. If you click on the hashtag, you'll definitely see his name. He is the Director of Website Systems and the Director of Community Tech and Incubation Services at Vegas' own Zappos IP. His name tag is this one. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science from the University of Central Florida and a Master of Science in a degree in Computer Science from Georgia Tech, which basically means that he's a whole hell of a lot smarter than I am. Please welcome Mr. Rick Duggan.
So Dan, thanks very much. I appreciate that. All right, let's get this up a little bit. So you guys saw a great overview of Vegas Tech in that video, and what I'd like to do today is just dive a little bit deeper into Vegas Tech and give everyone out there more information about what it is, what's involved with it, how it fits in with the downtown project, and what's going on with that $350 million that was announced earlier. So the downtown project is this investment fund that Tony has started up. It's actually got 5 tracks to it. Tech is one of those tracks. Another track is entertainment. Another track is restaurants, housing, and then education is a big track. So there have been some announcements made almost in all of those tracks. In fact, there was one just this morning, an announcement that a Motel 6 downtown had been purchased, and that building is actually going to be raised and rebuilt as a location for entrepreneurs to come into town and help provide talent for some of the startups that we are both growing here as well as bringing in from outside. So that announcement was just this morning. That was a $5 million investment. So for anyone out there who's wondering, is this real? Is this just talk? That was actually the second purchase of a building recently. I can assure you this is absolutely real. I actually need to back up one step. I forgot to make one announcement. My legal department requires me to state that I am not speaking as an official representative of Zappos IP. Sorry. All right, also like to talk to you about what is Vegas Tech. So you saw the name earlier, and to me Vegas Tech actually has 3 meanings. Vegas Tech is the community that we're all a part of here. Vegas Tech is the famous hashtag that everyone talks about on Twitter. It is definitely the place to go if you want to keep track of what events are happening, what kinds of companies are launching, people who need help. It's definitely the place to go for that. I personally try and find every post that mentions Vegas Tech where someone is asking to hire someone and make sure that I retweet that. And I would encourage every single one of you to do that. I think that's one of the most powerful things that we can do to help grow our startups, is to get the word out on positions that are available at those startups. And the third thing that Vegas Tech is it's vegastech.com, which is a directory site that lists the people, the companies, and the events that are going on in Las Vegas. So definitely, if there are 2 things to look for here, it's the Vegas Tech hashtag on Twitter and the vegastech.com site. How did Vegas Tech form? So there was a reference earlier, Paige just made it, about doing things. And that's really, to my mind, the key behind the success of Vegas Tech. There was no committee that was formed to do a white paper and study what was going on here and make recommendations. The whole idea behind Vegas Tech was formed by people who wanted to do something and make a difference, and were willing to make some mistakes along the way. So the mathematical equation that we use for Vegas Tech is the sum of doers plus community support plus an acronym JFDI. And because we're a mixed company, I won't describe the whole acronym, but it's just something doing. And that's really the key. Again, no committees, no studies, no let's figure out what we're going to do. It's let's do something and try it. The Jelly was started almost exactly a year ago. It'll be a year ago in April. 13 people at the first Jelly. Every Jelly now, 150 to 200 entrepreneurs getting together, collaborating, as Paige mentioned, working together and giving more than they get. And I actually will disagree a little bit. I think they get as much as they give, but they don't do it with that intent. They definitely give, but I can guarantee you they get back. And maybe it's just they get back in a karmic sense, but they get back as well. The events, so a year ago, the events in town were non-existent. You had a few meetup groups that were kind of doing all right. There was actually a Ruby users group that was doing pretty well. But since Vegas Tech has formed, there's been the Jelly, there's been Launch Up, there's been Ignite, there's been Delivering Happiness Inspire. We've hosted 2 startup weekends here, and we were also selected as one of the 10 cities in the U.S. to get a startup bus, which left from Las Vegas to go to South by Southwest. So there's definitely recognition, not just in the city here, but from outside, that what's going on in Las Vegas is real. There have been mentions in kind of all the cool tech press. There has been mentions in TechCrunch and all these other places about what's going on here. So it's not just being seen here, it's being seen everywhere. One myth I do want to dispel, though, is that this is just a Zappos-driven effort. And while Zappos is certainly supportive of all the things that are going on in Vegas and with Vegas Tech, we don't control it, we don't run it. As I mentioned, there's no committee behind it. The only thing we've ever done, and I say we, it's not even Zappos, is there was a group of folks who got together, I think it was sometime last summer. And really the reason we got together was for 2 reasons. One is we were hearing about different events that were getting started up, and we just wanted to make sure that nobody scheduled an event on the same day as someone else. We didn't want to split up the community. So it wasn't that you couldn't run an event, it wasn't that you had to get approval, it was just we wanted to know about it so we could make sure to promote it and make sure that we could get the maximum attendance possible. So that's kind of one thing. And the other part of that is, of the group that kind of helped start these events, 80% of those people are not with Zappos. So I just want to be really clear, this is a very, very community-driven effort. We're more than happy to support it, but we don't have a yes or no say over anything that happens. The community is everyone's community. So where do these events happen? So certainly as Zappos and our move downtown and the $50 million investment fund, which is under the term the Vegas Tech Fund, those are all definitely activities focused downtown. But we're very, very good partners with Switch. Zappos is hosted at Switch. We have relationships with a number of the entities that are going on. So Vegas Tech is definitely broader than just downtown. In fact, events that I mentioned, a launch-up event, Mobile Monday, these events have actually occurred not just downtown. So there have been events at UNLV as well. So it's the whole community coming together under the Vegas Tech umbrella. Certainly the Jelly is downtown, and that's where kind of what we would call the heartbeat event is. But events are occurring all over Las Vegas, and actually that's very exciting to me. So who else is playing in the kind of entrepreneurial space? So as I mentioned, we've got Switch. I don't want to steal any thunder from folks at Switch, but they're obviously interested in supporting entrepreneurs and tech as well, and they're going to be making some pretty big announcements soon. So we've got Switch. We've got Link 360 up in Summerlin. We've got UNLV, which we have a great relationship with. We have Entrepreneur Stars, which is an organization that was started by a local entrepreneur here who just felt like he could help with job growth. He put out $100,000 of his own money to run a contest and was offering no strings attached $5,000 prizes to help companies get off the ground. And that contest just ended. Unfortunately, there were not a lot of entrants from Vegas. I was a little surprised by that, but we may run that contest again, and hopefully we'll get a lot more Vegas Tech entrants in that contest. So lots and lots of stuff going on. There's Entrepreneuria, which is, probably hear more about that tonight at the after party. We have relationships and are integrated into all these pieces, and our belief is that there's no competition there, that we can all become stronger by working together and supporting each other, and that's really what the community is about. It's about growing the community and making it better for everybody. So it was mentioned earlier that there are around 200 startups in Las Vegas. I actually think the number is closer to 500. The reason I say that is a year ago I could name fewer than 5 startups. I now personally have a list of 150. The 200 number is definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I tend to see 1 or 2 new startups per week, so I think the number is probably closer to 500, and that's a pretty good-sized community, and it's something that we should all be proud of for having contributed to. So what do I want to leave you with today? I want to leave you with a couple concepts, and a lot of it is going to echo what Paige said about community, and that is the Vegas Tech community was founded by doers who are willing to give back. And what I would ask for you guys out there in the audience, if you're not part of the community already, which I know many of you are, please help support it. Come to the events. Get the word out about what's going on. We know that we can reach a lot more people in Las Vegas that can help grow the community, that can be entrepreneurs, that can be successful, and that's really all that we're looking for, is to help create a vibrant startup tech community in Las Vegas. So thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it.